Hello there, welcome to Dank Rank, and let's get scholarly. Research on cannabis has shown that the cannabinoid CBD alters COVID gene and stops it from disrupting our body. Today we will speak about a scholarly article as well as research done in Israel and two proteins that you need to know about that affect the body once COVID cells have entered the human cells. The research done at Sterile Biotechs in Israel is speaking on reversing damages done as well as blocking effects of COVID once you have used a high concentration of CBD at a certain stage of your COVID virus infection. The two proteins that you need to know about are the ACE2 and TMPRSS2. ACE2 is a protein acting as a receptor for the virus, and TMPRSS2 is a key protein that acts as a spike protein to infuse the virus to the epithelia on the cell surface through binding to ACE2. Sterile Biotechs in Israel says that CBD can help fight COVID until a certain stage. An array of literature has been written on CBD and cannabis as potential treatments for COVID-19. It is important to understand that depending on the stage of the disease, cannabinoids could be either help or harm a patient, as each phase of the disease is likely to require very different treatment. In the early stages, patients must mount on an immune response to combat the virus, so their immune system must be at its best. In the later stages, however, if patients with severe case of COVID-19 develop a cytokine storm, the immunosuppressive function of cannabinoids might be used to fight off its harmful, often fatal effects. We will be switching to cytokine and what cytokine storms are. First, we'll be talking about cytokine. Under normal circumstances, whenever the immune system senses an infection or inflammation, the body releases cytokines into the bloodstream. Cytokines are proteins, peptides, or glycoproteins secreted by specific cells of the immune system which mediate and regulate immunity and inflammation. By rushing to the site and communicating to white blood cells, they can figure out which virus or cell to attack. Once the infected or damaged cell is destroyed, the cytokines disperse and the destroyed cells are carried away as waste. As cytokines play a crucial role in fighting off infections, reducing them as a preventative measure or in early stages of infection may be a bad idea. That is why authorities caution against using cannabis agents in early stages of infection, because cannabis and specific cannabinoids such as CBD and THC suppress immune responses. Cytokine storms and what they are. Cytokine storms, resulting in acute respiratory distress syndrome (ARDS), are a leading cause of death in severe COVID-19 cases. In some cases where cytokine release is necessary, the immune system overreacts, releasing too many pro-inflammatory cytokines, which, as well as immune cells like neutrophils and monocytes, they work together and they actually work against the body. This hyperinflammation is called a cytokine storm, and it can become dangerous to patients, and the immune system attacks the body's own cells instead of the virus, meaning patients may experience high fever, inflammation, severe fatigue, and nausea. In extreme cases, storms can become life-threatening and can even cause organ failure. In these cases, the lungs fail to remove harmful gases like carbon dioxide and are unable to efficiently provide oxygen to the body. We're going to be shifting towards basically what CBD will do and what the research had done, what the research has shown in Israel that has mimicked basically the same symptoms and the same lung disease that was associated with what we had just talked by the cytokine storms. Several studies mimicking lung damage caused by ARDS in mice showed that CBD improved clinical symptoms, significantly improved the levels of oxygen, and reduced the levels of inflammation promoting cytokines caused by COVID-19 induced ARDS. Detailed examination showed that CBD partially or totally reversed the damage caused to the lungs, such as tissue overgrowth, scarring, and swelling. Studies showed the reason for this is a significant increase in the levels of apelin, a peptide made by cells of the heart, lung, brain, and fat tissue, as well as blood that works in reducing inflammation. In the ARDS model, apelin levels dropped close to zero in the lungs and blood, but when scientists gave the mice CBD, the apelin levels increased by 20 times. Another thing that has to be mentioned is that this is not FDA approved, and actually it has only been done research on mice so far, on this specific one in Israel, that is. And that is all for now, and we will see you guys next time.